Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we've had some fantastic presentations so far. So today I want to talk about one customer project that we've done recently in healthcare, private healthcare group, managing their inventory more effectively with RFID. So first, just a little bit about me. I work in sales and technical at a company called TEC-RFID. So we work with Zebra Technologies a lot. Providing an end-to-end solution. So we provide the readers and the tags, a lot of times from Zebra, along with software, either that we've developed ourselves or deployed from other software partners that we work with. And we provide on-site installation and support to complete the solution for the customers. And we do work not just in healthcare, but also across manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, retail, and others such as universities. But we'll get into the customer story. So the customer is Chec. So Chec is a private ophthalmology group in the UK. They have 32 locations, and they're growing, opening more locations every few months, it seems. Now, they were experiencing some issues with inventory management before deploying RFID. One issue being manual spreadsheets. There wasn't much visibility of what the stock levels were. Another being the nurse's time being taken away from caring for patients and onto counting stock. And so that wasn't the ideal use of the nurse's time. But I think the biggest issue they were facing was inaccurate stock. So both overstocks and out of stocks that we've heard about today already. So in some cases, there were more than a year's worth of some items in a hospital. And perhaps the most dramatic example that they've told us about is in cases where stock had to be driven the same day from one site to another to enable the surgery to go ahead. And this was also causing issues in terms of financial reporting and the profit and loss statement being up and down. And finally, also, not knowing what was expiring was causing waste, which was obviously affecting them financially as well. So in terms of what Chec wanted to achieve with this was stock accuracy of at least 95%, but preferably 98% or higher. And also to reduce the stock held in each hospital by 50%. And finally, to redirect the nurse's time away from managing stock and towards what their job really is, which is to care for the patients. So if we talk about the solution, so we met with Chec and discussed their requirements and their wish list. And we've implemented a solution including Zebra Technologies RFID hardware with the ZD621R desktop printer, which was very portable for them. The FX9600 fixed reader with the AN510 antennas to track stock around the hospitals, and also the RFID labels. The software we deployed was made by Work Software. Will from Work Software is in the audience as well. He's here as a co-sponsor. So we worked together with them deploying TagWorks. It's highly configurable, can track with both barcode and RFID, and using it for inventory management and also tracking orders between hospitals. And it covers printing tags, handheld stock takes, and fixed reading as well. And then finally, there was the installation and project management of the deployment, which was a lot of work. So we started with a proof of concept to determine the reliability of tracking this technology. Not as extensive as what Harold described, but we did do a lot of tests, and that's fundamental for ensuring the accuracy. And then surveying each hospital to ensure that everything was installed correctly. And of course, installing the readers and antennas, and configuring the software so that it would consume the items as well correctly. And once deployed with the first phases, we conducted audits to ensure the accuracy of the system, adjusted where tags were placed or what tags were used for different items, and trained the staff on the system. So testing and surveying is what we consider a key first step with items having different read ranges, particularly liquid-filled items is something we found. Bottles, many of them could be tagged, but tag placement was essential. And so testing that readability ensured the accuracy there. And obviously, and for every site, there are subtleties and there are differences when it comes to installation. So doing a survey of each site was necessary. So in terms of the data that's being stored, as I mentioned, there's the Zebra printer with SGTIN encoding. Now, what was a real benefit for Chec in printing this way was being able to track additional items per variant. So the serial number was auto-generated, but they could track expiration dates and batch numbers, which enables them to know what's expiring and use it before it does, or remove items that have already expired. And use batch numbers for recalls if that were to come up. But they can also add additional information such as the purchase order number and the cost price, which just enables much more advanced reporting. And now we have the fixed reading. So this is really where the automated stock tracking comes in, which was their main priority, to really automate the system. So we have the antenna on the screen. We would have those installed at key doorways, key areas, such as stock rooms, to update or add stock to the system. But there's also consumption zones, such as the bin store, so that when a tag is scanned, it also removes it from stock because we don't want to overcount. So also combined it with handheld reading. So the stock counts went from more than 3 hours to less than 3 minutes. It's a dramatic reduction in the time spent. And there's the stock check flow feature, which shows what the system is showing so that when a user is scanning it, it can see immediately if there are any discrepancies. And this can also be used if there's stock that is missing. It could be used to archive as well. And so this has enabled powerful analytics and reporting for them. Most importantly, of course, accurate inventory on a per-site basis, but also helping the purchasing team by knowing per site and per item how much they want to have, so having a high and a low level so that they know exactly when new stock needs to be ordered to prevent out of stocks. And also different reports like consumption report to see what's being used, and variant reports so that they know exactly when something is going to expire and find specific batch numbers as well. So we'll just look a little bit about the impact it's had on Chec. So the stock taking 2 to 3 minutes has been a massive time saver for them. With a stock accuracy of 98% in the audits we've conducted, it's made a big difference in terms of the visibility that they've been able to experience. So the senior management has that stock visibility to make better decisions, as we've heard about. And less stock is being held in the hospitals, which makes a difference financially as well. The purchasing process has become more efficient just through having those stock limits and knowing the accuracy of the stock. And also being able to report detailed data helps them with winning more contracts. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it's allowed them to redirect the nurse's time to the patient care and make that the #1 priority. So in terms of the future plans, the project's still growing and expanding. One plan to associate items with patients to have full traceability. And using this accurate data that they've been able to gather using RFID, and using that with AI to further improve the decision-making in the business and the purchasing department, and also patient tracking down the line. So some key learnings that we found from this project that I'd just like to share with you. First of all, having a business case and clear KPIs was key. So Chec were great with that, and we worked with them on building that business case of how the ROI would come, where the savings would be, and where the improvements would be. And tracking those KPIs has led to the business being satisfied with that. I'd say getting input from the people using the product, people using the software, using the readers is essential. They often have great suggestions in terms of how to improve, how it would work, how to make it easier, and ultimately, if they have a good experience using it, they'll do a better job of using the system. And also, sites have differences, so testing and tweaking settings and is absolutely required to ensure accuracy. And I'd say one thing that's been really great on this project is having a dedicated team. At Chec, they've had several people, such as Vicky Moore, the head of procurement, and Dave Morris, who have just been really focused on the project, and people who were just really taking ownership of the project and making sure that that the details are taken care of. And also a regular meeting time to review progress has helped us tremendously in just moving the project forward and ensuring that they get the success that they're looking for. So thanks everyone for your time. Hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you later.